Hey everyone, Professor Snart here. Since our last essay requires that you find a print or non-electronic secondary source, I thought I would just walk you through at least one way of finding that kind of source. You're not required to use material that's from the COD library, so if you have a public library that's close to you, then by all means, you can use that as a resource, but the type of material is still going to be, pretty much the same. So here I am at the main COD homepage. I am just going to scroll down to find the library link, and then I'm going to go into the catalog area. And this is why, I can walk you through a very simplistic example, but there's lots of different kinds of searches you can do. You can, choose the advanced search and do lots of different search options, but I'm just going to keep things as simple as possible. I'm also going to assume that you'll be using the play, which is not a requirement, but is something that I'd strongly recommend for that final essay. You'll notice that it suggests a whole bunch of things here, but I'm just going to go with the simplest. So of course I'm using an electronic tool to find a source, but the source I find, the secondary material, will actually be a physical print book that I can hold in my hand. So because I didn't do a lot of filtering for my search, it just searched for the phrase Death of a Salesman, it's found what looks like some pretty good stuff, but of course I'm not going to want a DVD of the play. I mean, it might be interesting to watch, but that's not going to work as a secondary source. Here's a book version of the play. Again, not a secondary source. That would be the primary text in this case. But you'll see this third example, Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman, is much more along the lines of what I'm looking for. So this happens to be a discussion of actually a series of chapters that discusses various aspects of the play. This is a nice one because it actually gives me the table of contents here, so I can, and you'll see that there's multiple authors included in each of the chapters in this collection. But each of them discusses a slightly different aspect of the play. So of course I'm not going to have to read the entirety of the book. I may be able to simply go to the chapter that looks like it's applicable to my topic and read through and see if there's anything that I can pull out to then use in my essay. So don't be intimidated by the whole prospect of using a book, because really you can focus and target your reading of that book. You're not having to read the entirety of the thing, right? Okay, notice just very basic things, that it provides the call number and shows that it is available on the shelf, so I would just go to find it in the library. So you may use this actual source, or you may end up using something slightly different. Again, be careful, like this would be a DVD version, a very good one, but not useful as a secondary source. There's this one, that would be a good secondary source. This one, right, there's lots of them. One of the reasons that I choose such a common play for us to read as the last thing in our course, and why I suggest that people use it for their essay, is simply because, well, not just because, but one of the main reasons is because there's lots and lots of sources to find. All right, so hopefully that makes your searching life a little bit easier. And if at first you don't succeed, try a different kind of search, especially if you're not doing a work that's maybe as common or as well known as Death of a Salesman.